How do you become the person you want to be if you don't have knowledge of how to go about the entire process? How do you find your life purpose? One of the ways you can have a 360-degree turnaround in your life is to acquire knowledge on the process that will take you to where you want to be. Because life is a journey. And I keep saying it. I said happiness is not in a destination you get to when your marriage finally becomes okay, or when you finally have children, or when you finally become rich, or when you finally have a child, or whatever it is in the process of life. So in that process you are going to continue to learn, unlearn and relearn. One of the first ways to acquire knowledge is to read more than you have ever read before. A lot of people have problem with actually sitting down to acquire new skill sets. They feel like I've gotten to an age where I'm not going to assimilate anything again in my brain, or my brain is saturated with all of life's problems. I don't even have time. But the issue is that as we go along, we continue to acquire knowledge. It may be in your experiences, it may be in the kind of people you interact with, it may be in the new courses you take. A self-development journey is important. It may be religious wise. You may just decide to learn more about the Quran in a way to establish a bond with Allah that will now translate into barakah in every other aspect of your life. If you want Allah's blessings, you need to know Him, because Allah says also that you cannot even worship Him unless you know Him. So how do you know Him except by seeking for knowledge? So you may start your acquiring knowledge journey by first getting more knowledge about your faith, by trying to deepen your faith through knowledge. So that is the place to start. Knowledge doesn't stop. We are all students of knowledge from cradle to grave. The best way to assimilate knowledge is to teach everything you learn. It is very important. In acquiring knowledge, you will realize that when you know better, you will do better. The sum total of all the knowledge you are acquiring and your experiences is that it translates into a better you. You need to be able to live the very best version of yourself, and you can only do that if you have the right kind of knowledge. So you need to make a decision today. I'm advising my brothers and sisters who discover that they are in marriages where they do not feel fulfilled, where you feel like you've come to the end of the road and there's just no way out. If you're even contemplating suicide or whatever it is that is making you feel out of place right now, you need to make a decision to go on a journey of self-development. As you develop yourself, you are going to discover yourself. When you know yourself, you'll be able to make better decisions for yourself. So you may start by attending a personal development class. There are classes everywhere. Thankfully, you don't have to pay millions of naira to acquire knowledge these days. Like they say, Google is your friend or any other thing. So we should not waste our time too much on entertainment and fun, because that is the language of this century. People just want to be entertained, and it's because they are running away from something. Everybody just wants to be distracted. So you want to be distracted by extreme comedy or whatever it is. But the truth is that you can utilize that time to be learning new things. Of course, you can be watching films and documentaries or whatever it is and still be acquiring knowledge from them to know more about the world, to go to places you have never gone before. I call myself a book addict. I'm addicted to anything that has to do with books, and that's why I read and I write a lot of books too. Is that when you read, it takes you to places that you have never been before. It helps you to have knowledge of things that ordinarily in your immediate environment you will not be able to know. So in self-development, you can read, you can learn, you can take courses, you can attend classes physical and online, you can do virtual sessions with people that your mentors or whatever, it's people that you want to learn from. When you have the right kind of knowledge, you'll be powerful in your own self, and anybody looking at you or hearing you knows that this person is somebody that knows what he's doing with his life, because there are a lot of people who are just going through life. They're just going through life in a way that it seems as if they cannot determine their course of action, as if life is happening to them. But you can actually happen to life when you have the right skill sets and knowledge.